Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk, back again with you guys for another episode of what is the Arsenal preview show. We haven't done one of these for a while. It's been a little spell since we've been able to squeeze one in, and we are squeezing this one into what is a very tight schedule for me today as well. I've got a lot going on, so I'm quite glad that we managed to get to it. There is an apology. There is not going to be the usual slides that you usually get, but that's not going to stop us from producing the usual in-depth preview content that we're going to be bringing you as usual. So, as we always do, we're joined by a fantastic group of members from our Discord server to talk ahead of what is Arsenal's biggest game of the season so far, as they travel up to Anfield to play Liverpool in, of course, the next round of Premier League fixtures. A very interesting fixture indeed, and I'm very happy to be joined by a couple of guests to talk about it. First of all is Mike. How you doing, Mike? You good? You well?
I'm very well, Tom. Thank you. I'm excited about tomorrow.
Indeed, very exciting indeed. It's an exciting game. I'm very much looking forward to it. Also joined by Carter. How you doing, Carter?
I'm good, Tom. So I'm kind of excited. It feels like I've waited too long to see Arsenal play, actually.
So are you going then, or is it just?
I stay pretty far. I live in Austria, so.
Oh yeah, it's not going to happen then, is it? Just the way you said it was like, I've waited so long to see them play, and it's it's been a week, and it feels like it's been a long time.
I'm kind of excited. Like, why not? Like, we did play well. The way we played against Brighton has got me kind of uppity, I would say. I'm excited to watch if we can pull that off again. So.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think you got reason to be excited because, well, it's an exciting game, and Arsenal against Liverpool is always one that produces typically fireworks. So I'm assuming that we'll be given those tomorrow as well. Mike, getting straight into things. Last season's game was, in the end, quite disappointing. Obviously, Arsenal went 2-0 up and conceded 2 goals and nearly conceded 3 if it wasn't for the heroics of Aaron Ramsdale as well at the end of that game. Do you see this being different, or do you feel it's going to be more of the same?
We've got a better team, generally. Of course, we've got Saliba in, not Holden. Is obviously a big issue, and we've got Mr. Rice pulling up trees in the middle of the park as well. So I think we go there stronger, but also, of course, Liverpool are stronger as well than they were last season too. Anfield's always a cauldron. If the crowd gets up, as Klopp's been trying to do this week, then it's never going to be an easy place to play. But I must admit, last season I went there with hope. This season I'm going there with expectation. I think it's probably
dangerous.
Yeah, I know. Yes, it is. But I think with justification, I think we are a better side. I think we're better equipped to deal with Liverpool's strengths. But notwithstanding, of course, they are a sensational team, and they're not just behind us in the league for fun. They're there because they deserve it. So.
They do indeed. They obviously weren't in the race for the Premier League last season, and Arsenal are, the team that we thought we were going to be up against. And with jokes aside, I think we all know we are still going to be up against is Manchester City, but Aston Villa could be top come Christmas if Arsenal and Liverpool draw this game, and Aston Villa have the monumental task of facing Sheffield United at home and get past that. They indeed will be top at Christmas. But focusing still on Arsenal and Liverpool, Carter, did you see Jurgen Klopp's comments in the week? Really kind of trying to galvanise Liverpool's crowd. He was saying that if you're not in the state for shouting, etc., give your ticket to somebody else. How do you feel about the rivalry being rekindled between Arteta and Klopp, and how do you see it playing out?
I mean, the biggest thing was Liverpool never saw us as their rivals, like, for a long time. That's the biggest factor, actually. Right now, they see us as rivals. That's the whole point of Jurgen Klopp actually trying to rally up the crowd before the game starts. And I'm excited because I wanted them to put us in front of them and look at us as rivals. That's the most important thing. I don't want Arsenal to be looked down. I want teams to be scared of us because I grew up in those era. Like when I started supporting way back in '98, we were one of the best teams, like for the 6 years, and after that, I never got my Arsenal back. So I did not, and it's been really long, and I've gotten older, a little bit more wiser about football, and so right now I'm finally feeling it's like, okay, when teams like Liverpool, Man City show up, they look at us like rivals and they want to beat us uh, more than anything. Like it's like beating, like it usually used to be like, okay, I'm gonna come to Arsenal, or Arsenal are gonna come to us, we're gonna put 2-3 past them and we're gonna coast the game. Now they're like, no, we cannot coast, they won't allow us to coast the game, we have to score the chances we get. That was the same for Man City and teams like Liverpool right now. Aston Villa, like as soon as they scored, after that, all Aston Villa did was mainly concentrate on defending. And Arsenal were tearing them apart. The only problem Arsenal had was like putting the ball past the net. We should literally have 4 goals in that Aston Villa game. And that annoyed me the most. I hate them. I hate Emiliano Martinez. I'm sorry. He used to be an Arsenal player. He spoke too much about Arsenal, which he didn't have to. I mean, hate is a harsh word, but come on, like it's just about the emotions of hate. Nothing against the player. It's all football related, you know.
Indeed, I think that there is something about this fixture that just generates a rivalry that it's not traditional in football terms. Like when you think of rivalries, you think of teams that have been in title races, together. In particular, I know people are going to go, "Oh, what about '89?" And of course, '89. But that was a big surprise when Arsenal did that. It wasn't like the Man United back and forths over the late '90s and early noughties. It's not necessarily been like the Manchester City where you're kind of going up against a side that stands for something that we all despise, which is obviously the amount of money that's been, just been basically money doping, if you like, with the amount of the amount of money that's been pumped into that football club, same as Chelsea. And even though there's a geographical rivalry with Spurs and in that sense, and to a degree Chelsea as well, Liverpool's rivalry, our rivalry between us two is more to do, I think, with the individual battles we've had, Mike, between each other when we play each other than anything more traditional than that. Does that make sense?
It makes absolute sense. Yeah, we seem to have had eras where obviously Liverpool have been such an incredibly dominant force when we weren't, and vice versa, of course. So I think that's spot on in terms of we've never actually gone head to head in many title races, apart from obviously that wonderful night in 1989.
That didn't even feel like, and I know that I'm speaking from extrapolating because I was it's about 5 years before I was born. But in regards to, not to make you feel any older, Mike, but in regards to kind of looking back at that season, it wasn't like back and forth. Liverpool didn't start that season all too well, and Arsenal were leading the way, and obviously fell away towards the end of the season. Had to recover it in that final game because they had those poor results against the likes of Wimbledon. It was really frustrating to see like the way in which that ended. It wasn't like the Man United seasons, or it wasn't like Man City last season, where it was kind of back and forth all the way to the end. Whereas this time, it's not just obviously Liverpool, but City could be there. Who knows about Villa? But it seems like Arsenal are going to be going blow for blow with Liverpool throughout this season, and so that's why there's more emphasis on this game.
For sure. Now, of course, top two at the minute, of course, is always going to create a little bit of a buzz. But I think there is a recognition and a respect from one team to the other that this is a big game. Certainly, both Arteta and Klopp have made it absolutely explicit that they see this as fairly big, and we're far enough in the season as well, I think, for it to matter more. If this had been played third or fourth game in, then it wouldn't quite have had the relevance. But that potential to be top of the league at Christmas is a big deal. It is a big deal.
It's a massive deal. It really, really is. It's a really, really big deal. And although Arteta said it doesn't count for anything, and he'd like to have won more things during his 4 years here, it's the journey Arsenal have gone on to get to where they are now cannot be ignored. And I think one of the things that we still need to achieve, Carter, is winning games like this one. You know, winning at Anfield, winning at Old Trafford in a season. I know we've done it under Arteta, but in a season where you're going for a title, winning at Old Trafford, winning, of course, against Manchester City at home or away. It's not something we've done I think it was since 2015 before this season that we hadn't done that. So winning at Anfield, you feel as though a draw is okay. Like it's not. If we come away from with a draw, I think people are going to be relatively okay with it. But it's not defining in a season in which you need to win a title.
Yeah, your statement is right, but I disagree with just being happy with a draw. No, we cannot.
For the
be happy
record,
with a draw.
I wouldn't be happy with it. It's kind of
okay.
like the whole. I wouldn't be distraught or really upset if we ended up drawing this game.
I mean,
I'd just I'd be a bit
I get your
Yeah.
point. I understand you. Like if you look at it logically in a calm sense and just look at it in the sense of like, okay, this match doesn't define the season. I absolutely agree with that. But with only exactly. But only with respect to this match, if you're looking at it, we have to go beat them at Anfield. We have to. I watched Man United versus Liverpool game. Liverpool were trying to pump them as much as possible with all the shots possible everywhere. All Man United had to do was like, they made so many fouls and like they somehow scraped through with a 0-0. And Liverpool actually had one or two chances. One was Salah's chance and one was Trent Alexander-Arnold's chance, I think. So that was those were the two chances which I saw. So the biggest thing is advantageously Arsenal have is the midfield, so we can lock them in the midfield because Havertz wins a lot of duels. Rice, of course, he's a duel machine, so I don't have to say much about him. So
yeah,
and thirdly, I'm liking what Odegaard is doing because he drops back. He pushes Rice up front, like so that because Rice has that power and that tenacity to run towards the player, which Odegaard has it, but like he's more nimble. Rice is not like that. He's dominant. He's like, okay, I'm a force. I'm coming at you. So that's the thing. So that's why when Odegaard drops back and from the like he passes from the back, especially that pass to Saka against Brighton. My goodness, that guy. Oh my god.
It's when people say to me he's not world class, and I'm like, have you watched this guy? Like, have you seen this guy play football? Like, it's incredible.
And there was one scenario. I think this was a time where the Pascal Gross got a chance and it went just past the goal.
Brighton's only real chance.
Yeah, exactly, the only chance. So before that or during that period, Odegaard had to receive the ball deep in right back position, and he swivels through two players and gets it out to Saka. This guy has control of ball. He's amazing, and I wanted him to do that. So I remember the last time I was here, I had like issues or qualms about Odegaard playing too close to the striker, and I wanted him to come deeper, collect ball more deeper, and try to make more plays. And because of that, he was able to. There's a shot which was blocked. From Havertz's shot, which was blocked. So Odegaard picked it up from the back and he put it through to Zinchenko to Martinelli, and then Martinelli took a shot, but it came back and Havertz took a shot. It was that move. It was so much in sync. It's because Odegaard is allowed to move onto the left and also onto the right. It's because of that. Right now, that Havertz and Odegaard, they're able to like, okay, I'm going to be on the left, you're going to be on the right. They're able to communicate with them without actually telling them like, hey, come here, I'm going to go there or something like that, It's instinctually happening. So Odegaard, I'm going to pick it up from here, then Havertz moves to the right. So that's why this Odegaard guy, if he plays like how he played against Brighton, we are going to win, Tom. And I'm pretty sure about that. But if that doesn't happen, and it's also Anfield, like, and football, you never know. So, but if they play exactly like how they played against Brighton, they're going to win. But my team doesn't say exactly as Brighton, but whatever. I just want to
we'll get to that. Actually, we're going to get to that right now. And whilst you guys were talking, I did manage to put those slides together, believe it or not. So, Mike, talk us through your team, mate. As long as I've not got it wrong, of course. Then let me know if I have.
No, that's as that's it. Somewhat surprisingly, of course, the third letter of the goalkeeper's name is a Y, not an M. To to break the mold, and of course, he's a great keeper, and that's fine. I have no problem at all with starting
Mike,
the
I
same
feel like
team.
every time we do this, you feel like you feel the need to justify why you picked Ray out. Like,
Well, yeah. No, look, he could do a job. We need a man of the match performance out of him, like
yeah.
we had out at Ramsdale last. I think that's
Hmm.
he hasn't had to do that yet, but I think this is the game that he may have to show his quality
Indeed.
and reassure the doubters, whoever they may be. So
Mhm.
apart from that, I think the team that started Brighton Stars here, I think they were exceptional in terms of the football they played, in terms of the control they had of the game. Of course, there's still concerns about the conversion of chances
Yeah.
that are created, but nevertheless, the football up to that point was as good as I've seen for quite some time, and Brighton are no mugs.
Mm.
So I'd
I
be
think it's the
confident
first time
in
in
this.
15 games they've not scored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and uh, that says a lot about where we are. We do see the relationships developing game on game. You don't have to look further than Kai for that. And although there are obviously concerns about Zinchenko, I think we win this game in the midfield, and I think his input into that is going to be instrumental in us retaining that control, as well as having an offensive presence. So not only is that the team I pick, I think that's an exceptional team, whichever
Yeah,
way
it
you
is.
slice it.
It really, really is. Now Carter makes just one change from that team, so I'm going to ask you just on that, which is Kivior in for Zinchenko. Why have you made that switch?
It's simple. Defend more. Defend
Is it
first.
2 words? Is it Mohamed Salah? Is that the the
I
2
mean,
words?
see, I have enough confidence in Gabriel, so he can cover for Zinchenko, even if Mohamed Salah is playing. But the major reason why I would want to play Kivior is to balance the load which is imposed on Zinchenko, because I don't see we are absolutely light in the defense right now. We cannot afford any injuries. So the only person who's available in defense as a backup is Kivior. There's no Tomiyasu, there's no Timber. Rice, I'm not Rice. White is has he's been playing with a small kind of injury or some pain. I don't know. That's what I heard recently.
White
If
has,
you
yeah. White's been carrying a bit of a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, so considering that, I would like to manage the load of Zinchenko, because he is a really crucial player when it comes to attacking. At least if we contain them and contain the waves of attack in the first half, first 60, 70 minutes, and we have already scored there and something like that, and that's the time to maybe bring in Zinchenko. But I don't want, because Liverpool usually play high tempo football, so I don't want the Zinchenko to start and them start playing high tempo football. But I believe in Kivior. He can lock up Salah. He might not be able to progress the ball like how Tommy would do or Zinchenko would do, but if we are able to use if Havertz is playing a bit more closer to Jesus, we say we can use Kivior's longer balls to Havertz. I don't know if he picks up the ball from Salah and the long ball towards Havertz, and we are in for an attack or something like that. That was the whole thinking behind it, just to manage the load of Zinchenko. And Zinchenko also has been a suspect for me with respect to defense. Yeah, he's been doing really well to anticipate anticipate and pick up the balls from the wingers sometimes. But the Villa goal was because of him. He left his marker and he came too forward, and Gabriel was caught between two minds to cover him or the other person. And I think it was one more game before that, and also against Brighton. It wasn't really a chance, it was a cross where Raya claimed it, but Zinchenko got skinned, and him, who's supposed to be a fullback but not really a fullback, is supposed to be really good at like at least one-on-one defending, to stop that particular person to not pass you so easily. And Zinchenko needs to maybe improve on that, and he will be crucial for other games, in the especially game against West Ham and the game is Fulham and everything. He will be really important. So when it's Liverpool, I rather shut shop first, because I know they have Mohamed Salah and there's Luis Diaz and all the other people who can score from anywhere. So let's shut shop and believe in our creative players. I see Havertz doing well. I see Jesus actually doing some insane moves since the time he came in.
Oh, have we lost Carter? I think maybe your internet has just gone a little bit haywire. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
You're back. Sweet. Yeah. We
Okay.
caught just the end of what you said, so it's fine. No, but I agree with you regarding the attacking essence of the team. I think we have got to give faith to the attacking team. As Mike pointed out, it's now, about finishing those chances. And I think that if you get chances at Anfield, you got to take them. It's as simple as that. I've gone with the same team as Mike. I'm not as brave as Carter is to switch in Kivior for this one. If Tomiyasu was fit, I don't think many people would disagree about probably playing Tomiyasu at left back in this game, just like he did so well the Emirates last season. Of course, he wasn't available, I don't think, for this game either at Anfield last season, because he was also out injured with Saliba. So frustrating that he's not available for us again, because I think he would have been very, very useful indeed. I've gone with Kai as well as my star man. If he turns up at Anfield, I just don't know what the doubters have got to say anymore. I really don't know where they would go regarding kind of their words on Kai Havertz. If he scores, if he has a very good game here, that is really going to put a lot of nails into the coffin of the Kai Havertz critics, I think. We'll finish the show, of course, as we always do, with predictions. So, Mike, scoreline and scorers, please.
2-1 to us. I think that we'll get a goal from Odegaard. He'll put one in a big game. And Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz, yeah, I was waiting for that one. Carter.
It's going to be a boring 1-0, and I'm happy with that. So
to us.
And how? Yeah, to us, yes, of course.
Just checking.
And it's going to be Havertz. He scores the goal. He scores the winning goal for us. And I just want to hear away Arsenal fans singing his chant at Anfield. I just want to annoy these Liverpool fans. Like, annoy them, like, please.
Ground to hear those famous words of would be glorious.
The two chants which will really annoy opposition fans is, one is the Saliba's chant, and currently is the Havertz's chant. So use it. Like, Havertz score, Saliba long ball, go, let's go.
Yeah, I'm loving that. And then Salah's wrong goal, and Saliba completely, takes the ball and
takes the ball.
Game-winning challenge. Yeah, that would be
pretty much
that would be it. I'd love that. God's Power says 2-1 Arsenal. Temi says 3-1 Liverpool. Natalie says 2-1 Arsenal. 1-1 Canterbury Guna says 1-1. I don't know why Temi's put 3 times that he really wants to get across that he thinks that maybe it's reverse psychology. I can only assume that is the case.
No,
Igbo reckons it's going to be 0-0 at half time. Sorry, Carter,
sorry.
go on.
YouTube had a problem recently. Some comments wouldn't go, maybe because of that.
So actually it shows up 3 times, even though I see. You see this? Give me the feedback. I need this. I need it. Very strange. Yeah, I can see it a couple of times. It's happening with people. Guna Pino says 3-1 Arsenal. Martinelli, Havertz, and Saka. DR, though, reckons we're probably going to lose 2-1. Matt G says 2-1 Arsenal. Igbo says even though it'll be 0-0 at half time, it'll be 2-0 full time. It's Jesus and Saka with the goals. Lovely stuff. Make sure you leave, if you're listening, on catch up, your comments and predictions for the game down below. Please do leave some very kind words for my fantastic guests for this morning's, this evening's, this afternoon's, wherever you happen to be in the world. This very early morning, if you're this guy. Mike, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Oh, you're always welcome, Tom. It's great to be part of this, and have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. And it'll be set off by the win tomorrow.
Indeed. You too. Enjoy it. I'm always curious what Australian Christmas is like. Very hot, I imagine.
Yeah. The morning was spent on the beach and with some sort of breakfast barbie thing, and then swimming
Of
pool in the
course,
afternoon.
of course, there was a barbecue because it just,
Yeah, of
it
course.
just fulfilling that stereotype perfectly there, Mike. Yeah,
Absolutely.
brilliant. Carter, thank you for your time, mate. Smashing it. Did you say Austria, right? Or Australia? Austria, yeah. It's got Austria and Australia in the same building. So a very cold Christmas for you, I assume.
It's pretty cold. I like cold weather. Like Tom, I always, whenever you say, "Oh, I like cold," I like winter, or something like that, I just keep
Yeah, I'm a
nodding,
winter
looking at your
baby.
podcast,
That's what
like
I
I
say.
do too.
Yeah.
Oh, but I
Born
was
in
a summer
November.
baby, but I still love winter.
It's fine.
Anyway,
It
Merry Christmas to everybody. So that's what I wanted to wish, and Happy New Year. We'll catch up
What's
in comments.
Merry Christmas in German? Out of
Uh,
interest.
Frohe Weihnachten.
There you go.
I can.
And it is German that speak in Austria, right? It's not. Is
Yeah,
it Austria? It is German. Yeah, it
yeah.
is. I thought it was. There was that awful moment in my head where I was like, hold on. I've just made a terrible assumption. But yes, no, it is.
I've sent it in private chat how it's told, so you can read it. So it's easier
Yeah,
for
please
you.
do. Please do. Certainly. And Feliz Navidad, which is my second favorite Christmas song, of course, as well, of all time. Swiftly behind Driving Home for Christmas, which I will be doing, except on a train, I hope, on Christmas Eve on Sunday, hoping that the trains sort themselves out. Because if they don't, people are going to be unhappy. So very unhappy. Based on what happened at Euston Station yesterday, hopefully it'll be fine.
It's not going to be fine on Christmas, Tom. Come on, it's the most busiest day.
It's usually okay. It just depends upon the weather, and the weather's been pretty dry for us over Christmas, to be fair. So hopefully it's all right. That said, London Euston yesterday was terrible. I hear so. That is the station I'll be returning to on Christmas Eve. So just keep those fingers crossed. Otherwise, some Uber driver is going to be getting very, very lucky with the amount of money I'm going to have to pay them to get me back. But that's a story for another day, and hopefully one I won't have to tell. Thank you, everyone that's listening in the chat box. Really appreciate it. Is it Frohe Weihnachten? Is that how I pronounce it correctly? I can see it in the chat. Have I pronounced that correctly?
Yeah, come again, so that I can correct you if you're wrong. Can you come again, please?
Yeah, Frohe Weihnachten.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Wine is like the wine and Achten, so it's wine Achten.
Okay, I get it. Understood. Well, we've learned something today, which is always good. Every day's a school day. Thank you for listening, people. I will speak to you all, of course, tomorrow morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. before I head off to the trepidatious thing that is London Euston Station, and hopefully everything's going to be okay. We will see you all again very soon. Drop a like, subscribe, all that lovely stuff, and as always, up the Arsenal. Let's get another one at Anfield, shall we?
Yep.